Hello all, it's Miss Mocha with a book that I read. I actually read this a few months back and enjoyed it and hated it at the same time. Have you ever had those books where you're like, I cannot believe I sat through all of this? Like, it has a great storyline and a great beginning, and you get to the end and it wasn't what you thought it was. And A Mistress Makes Three by Frances Ray is actually a really good book. Not just because of the storyline, it's because it has really good key points in it. Like, it has points where you stop and you think, and you're like, wow, can that really happen? I think that's what it really was about. But I have notes here that I did when I read the book. So I'm just gonna read off those and elaborate. But Celeste is a major character in the book. She's going through a divorce, but her relationship with Alec, her ex-husband, shows a sense of humor in the process of finding love. And I think that was a very good point, because her relationship with her ex-husband was funny, because Alec just seemed like this self-centered jerk, which made it funny. He wasn't like mean or anything. He was just all about him. And, I think he stopped thinking about his wife along the lines of this book. This book gets right to the point. The minute you read it, you know what's going on. She's divorced and her ex-husband is just wow in a bad way. But not only does she have to deal with her self-absorbed, ex-husband, she has a teenage daughter. And I don't have a kid. I'm not looking for him right now, but she has a teenage daughter who takes her father's side. And there are points where I'm reading the book, I'm like, Celeste, why don't you just let her go live with him? Because I think that's the only way how she will learn. The book, at first, it's more of, Celeste and she has this friend named Gina. And at first, I think she is completely blaming herself for everything that, she goes through. But Celeste and Gina are, complete opposites at first. When I read the book, they didn't seem like, I was wondering why they were best friends. Really, I was like, what is the connection? But Celeste is, used to, men fawning over her, and then Gina, but even though they're opposites, they have this really true friendship. And I think every girlfriend should have just one best friend. I honestly, this is getting off the subject, but I think every girl should have that one best friend she can count on for life, BFFF. If you don't know what that is, look it up. The reason the title works with the story, but I really didn't get it when I first read it, because it said, and a mistress makes three. When I first read it, I was like, okay, Alex has this woman on the side and his wife on the other side. I honestly thought that this whole story was about the man, but you have to read it to understand it. The conclusion of the story is really I didn't like it, because it just didn't mesh with me. But the whole book, up until the ending, it was good. Her strength comes from having someone believe in her more than her ex-husband did, because she meets this guy whose name I'm not going to mention. She meets this guy and he completely turns her life around, and not just with her dealing with her ex-husband, but dealing with her teenage daughter as well. But I think love takes Gina from this shy girl, the other character, to a woman who is not afraid to stand on her own 2 feet. But the one minor downside to Celeste is her disbelief in herself. Not Celeste, Gina. I also got that that she was coming into her home, but almost every page it felt like a sob story. I think both of the characters, even though one is a minor character, I think both of them had a sob story. I think that's I like books that have adventure and have like, I mean, an adventure through love or an adventure through peril or an adventure through something, but I hate sob stories. Like, I understand why you need the sob story in there, but it's really annoying when you have it and it's just page after page after page of how I feel stupid and how my past messed me up, and I'm just sitting there like, okay, when is this book gonna end? And that's why I give it 2 stars, because the whole thing just felt like a sob story, but it was also an uplifting book. And I think that if you want to, like, if that's something that you're into, an uplifting book, then you should go out and you should read this book. It's called And Mistress Makes Three. So go out there, get the book, and then tell me what you think, because it took me like 2 weeks to read it, and it usually takes me a week to read books. So happy reading.